Yo, what's good, bro? Met you at Best Buy when I was working there. No longer working there. Shout out to your radio show. Appreciate the card. Just wanted to let you know, man, I got that Fire Stick waiting on you. Free movies, free cable, free sports. Get at me when you're ready. I got them. 832-387-7014. Yes, sir. Have a great day.
Here we go. You are now listening to Random Ramblings with Rob. Yay! Yeah! Look at it. Boom, boom. Boom. Boom, boom, boom.
What up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob, and I am your host of the Random Ramblings with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week and listening to my podcast, or however you listen to podcasts. You might not listen to them weekly. You might listen to them monthly, or bi-weekly, or bisexually, or however it is you do it. And if you're a first-time listener, I also like to thank you for tuning in and listening to my little shindig, Aruni, and stuff. As always, I've been doing this shit for over a year, and I'm going to sit here and apologize to you for the audio quality. I'm sitting here currently in my van recording this on my USB microphone and iPad mini. Reason being is I'm doing some out-of-town work, and usually they put us up in a room and everything, and usually I got the thing all to myself, but unforeseen circumstances have caused us to double up in rooms. So instead of me dragging all my shit up into the room and taking over my roommate's fucking living quarters and everything with all my shit and being loud and rambunctious because it's late hours here now, I just sat in the van and recorded some things and everything. So yeah, that's about it. So this intro is going to be short and sweet to the point, and we're just going to dive right in. I mean, I got some voicemails. I got another whimsical tale from Hoppy Rogers that you're going to hear here momentarily. And also, I got a response to the rap battle laid down by motherfucking Ray from the Naked Porch podcast in response to last week, Jody B, the motherfucking king of the voicemail and everything. So Ray is responding to Jody B's rap battle, freaking talk his freaking spoken word rap last week. So I'm gonna let you hear both of those. But before I even just transition into that thing, I have a guest this week. It goes by the name of JJ Blake. He is a professional wrestler, and he is currently, at this time of this recording, the ROW, Reality of Wrestling. That's what ROW stands for. Television champion. So we talk about a number of things. Wrestling eventually comes up on the agenda, but we talk about a number of things. We talk about movies and one most important thing, Iron Fist, and how it was actually good. Yes, that's right. He's an Iron Fist sympathizer like myself. So we cover a whole gambit of things, and eventually at the end we get into wrestling, and we just talk about a whole bunch of shit, man. It's pretty cool. If you are a patron to the show, that means you contribute monetarily. You've already heard this episode unedited. I mean, you're not getting me with my melodic tones or sitting here sweating in my van right now because I ain't want to turn this motherfucker on and have all the engine sounds and noises on the recording. But you heard the episode with JJ Blake already unedited. So now you can hear it again, edited it with my inputs and whatever. And giggity. Oh, dropped my phone. Also, it was asked to me by one of the listeners to put this information out there on May 23rd, 2017 in Lafayette, Louisiana. A girl by the name of Jacqueline Landry, goes by Daisy Lynn, 18 years of age. She went missing. She went to a friend's house and, she never came back home. And, she's missing right now. So I just want to put the word out. If you're out there in the Louisiana, Lafayette area, keep an eye out. She is 5'1", about 105 pounds, light brown hair, shoulder length, with blue eyes. She has a tattoo of a Chinese symbol above her left breast and a small triangle on the inside of her right wrist. And she also has 2 burn marks, one above her breast and one on the outside of her left forearm. So, once again, that name is Jacqueline Landry, goes by Daisy Lynn. She's been missing since May 23rd of 2017, and the family is looking for her. So if you have any information on the whereabouts, call the number 337-236-5620. I'll have some pictures posted on my Facebook page and on Instagram, so you can kind of get a visual of what the girl looks like. So if you're out there in Lafayette, Louisiana area or the surrounding area, keep an eye out, and we can get some prayers to the family. Hopefully they get their child home here soon and swiftly. And it's kind of fucked up thing, you know. I don't like to talk about stuff like that, but I mean, I have a listenership, and whatever I can do with that, to get the word out to help this family in need, hey man, I'm obligated to do so. So, if you can, keep your eyes open. Any information, call that number, 337-236-5620. Shit's unfortunate, man. I can't imagine one of my kids, not coming home at the end of the night or whatever it is. But in any case, like I said, man, we're gonna keep it rolling. And what you're gonna hear before we lead into the interview with JJ Blake is another whimsical tale from Hoppy Rogers and the response to Jody B's battle spoken word rap by Ray from the Naked Porch Podcast.
If you want that voicemail crown, go ahead and take it, yo. Ain't nobody fighting, just supporting our favorite show. I guess I crossed the line and came at you kinda hard. Suck it on the voicemail, being a silly tart. I don't know what's going on, I'm just trying to have some fun. Making calls, talking shit, random raw, plays them all on the show. Even if these salty crackers got no flow like someone, yeah, I think you know. Jody Didn't mean to offend, so please don't get me wrong. Coming at me battle rap style, I have to drop them bombs. Talking shit to Jody don't make me feel all kinda good, but you can keep that voice for crisis when you look kinda good. Now random Ross behind the scenes, pulling at these puppet strings, hyping shit, pitting fans against each other like a wicked puppet master. It's disaster, such a bastard, D for Lasser, that motherfucker in the New York cackler.
What up, everybody? It's Hoppy, man. We just checking in from the Dirty South. If y'all don't know the Dirty South, that's the left side of Texas, over to South Cracker-Lacka, down from the bottom tip of Florida to the tippy top of Kentucky. You know what I'm talking about? But look, man, I used to have this girlfriend, Becca. And she got off on doing it like on other people's property. So, sometimes whatever your girl into, you got to be into. So this girl, she like just finding people's farms or, back of their house, behind their garage. That's where she want to get it. So one day we was walking down this country road, and there was a long driveway, and she was like, well, let's see what's back in here. So we walked back in there, and the driveway cuts left, and the guy owns the property on both sides of the driveway, and there was a little spot of like 5 trees and some little bushes and stuff. She was like, that's cool, let's hit up over there. So we get naked, and I'm fucking the shit out of her back on somebody's property. And you can see the house, but it was like, 2 football fields away or something. But the driveway is like 40 yards away. So I'm getting it. And I look up, this horse done walked over there and is watching us. And it's kind of weird, but he wasn't bothering us, so I just keep on getting it. Well, here comes the motherfucker coming home, right? Drives right past us, and I'm like, oh, fuck. So I I got red swimming trunks is what I was wearing. So I'm hanging them all up under my body so they don't see, because, red sticks out in the middle of some green bushes and all that. Well, he don't see us, goes in the house, and she's like, well, fuck it, let's finish. So, shit, I knock it out about another 4 minutes and do my thing and all that, and we're done now. Well, right when we're done, this motherfucker come outside with his dogs, and they're not on a leash, okay? So, I'm like, fuck, they're gonna smell us. We just fucked. Well, somehow we stay down and low, and the dogs never even see us or nothing. They're not aware of it. So they go back in the house. Our adrenaline's blowing. He gets back in the house, and we're like, let's go. So, this driveway, like I told you, is a long fucking driveway, 2 football fields. So we're fucking, sprinting to get down into this driveway before he come back out. Well, apparently he was just coming home at lunch to let his dogs out and was getting ready to leave. So we were halfway down the driveway. This motherfucker cuts the turn, and we both jump in this big old ditch. And it's, full of weeds and all this. So we're thinking do we make it in the ditch before he's seen us and laid eyes on us? So, she's in a bikini and I'm just in swimming trunks laying in this fucking ditch. And I hate peppermint. God damn it, I hate peppermint. And I'm right in a peppermint patch. And he stops right where we're at and starts fucking with the horse. And we don't know if he's looking for us or just fucking with the horse. But we lay in there a good while. Motherfucker, you gotta get a new voicemail, man. It cuts us all off. It cuts all of us off all the time. And then we gotta start our story over, trying to get the momentum back. Okay, so anyways, he drives off, and we get up out the ditch and get on our merry way, and, we're like, woo, scot-free. But little did we know, we got the chiggers. If you all are from the country, or not from the country, and never been out there, a chigger is like a no-see-em little thing, and it gets under your skin and lays eggs, and then, they come out or whatever, but you itch like a motherfucker while they're in there. Little larvae. Motherfucker, B-Rob, I got chiggers in my balls. My balls. I'm talking, it was horrible. It was horrible. Chiggers in my balls.
Yeah, but we got some things to discuss, Mr.
Yes,
Airman.
sir.
He was in the Air Force, correct?
Yeah. That was a good, let me think. A good 9 years of my life. Not 9, about 8.
So you saying that, then we probably in the same age bracket then.
I'm 26, man.
Oh, well, shit, we not in the same age bracket.
Right out of high school, man. But not right out of high school, man. I chilled for a year. I just got into wrestling right after that. So I started training. I worked at McDonald's. I'm just like, man, this ain't gonna cut it, man. I'm over here working at McDonald's trying to train and stuff. I don't got no money to do no. I don't got no play money. So I started to join the Air Force about at 19. So I've just been keeping up with it. It's all. That was like 2009. Yeah, so about 2009. So yeah, we're about 8 years.
So that was like more of you was in the reserves or full active?
Active for 4 of those years. Yeah, to the day. Was it 4? Since then, I've been reserved.
Okay. That's cool. I mean, I know you're doing things with ROW and everything. I mean, are you from Houston or are you from somewhere else?
No, sir. I'm actually from Virginia. I want to get real technical with it. California.
Well, shit.
Yeah, man. I've been all over, man. I was born in California, raised in Sacramento for about 9 years, and then mom married my dad, and went off to Virginia. So I pretty much spent 10 years on each coast pretty much. Like I spent 10 years over here, East Coast, and 10 years West Coast, and then now I'm down here. So I don't know. I'm staying down here for 10 years. It's not the plan, but see how things work out.
Yeah, I got you. So I mean, shit, you've been on the left coast and the right coast, and now you're down down this way. I mean,
in the Gulf Coast, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what's that like for you culture wise and everything? I mean, you've seen the East and the West, and now you're down here in the South.
It's different, man. And I ain't gonna lie, I might get in trouble for this, man. Not a big fan of the South. I'm a city boy, is what it is, and so luckily I'm over. My opinion pretty much is basically the city is pretty much all cities are pretty much alike. Not the same, but they're alike. You got the same kind of people melting pot type of thing. It's not just like, oh, look, New York and Chicago are two different places. They are different places, but you're still going to have the diversity. And I like diversity. I don't like to be in a small, country town somewhere, whatever. So when I'm traveling, that's when I see the majority of the differences and whatnot. Traveling to California, you'll be going through valleys and grape valleys and stuff like that for the wineries and stuff. Yeah. And then you'll go, travel through, desert or whatever. And everybody's just kind of just chill, relax. And then you go traveling through Texas and everything's kind of all, going, like kind of like that, which is cool. it's whatever. But, even with that though, it still brings a certain air of like, this is alright. This is cool, I guess. I don't like it, pretty much. And that's the thing, because when I travel in Virginia, when I was in Virginia going north, I love that drive. I'm from Chesapeake, and that's like at the bottom of Virginia, the East Coast, right in the water.
Yeah.
Almost about 20 miles from the ocean front. And driving up north to New York City or whatever, like, man, it's just such it's an oceanside drive. You're going through the Baby's Tunnel, then you get into Maryland and whatnot, Ocean City, all that stuff, and you're right by the water the whole time, man. And I just like it. Delaware, then you get to Jersey, and then everything goes south. But still, Jersey cool. It's alright. That turnpike ain't no game though. But nah, like it's just the East Coast just has a feel to it, man. When you travel up the East Coast, it's just a different feel. Traveling through Texas is kind of a little slower and whatnot. Alabama, Louisiana. Georgia's kind of pretty, man. You got them rolling hills and whatnot, but just every place, every part of the country has its own flavor and whatnot. And I just like to try to, keep an open mind and sample it and, see how it tastes, see how it goes.
Yeah. And I get everything you're saying, man, because, like, I mean, I've did it in kind of reversal. Whether I'm from down this way, I'm from Louisiana, and when I joined the military, I went to the East Coast, and I've been on the East Coast majority of my career, but I've also been to California. I stayed out there for a couple summers and did things out on the West Coast as well. So, I mean, my only gripe and complaint about the West Coast is, like, you talking about California and all that shit, is like, I can remember taking the long ass drives and not seeing shit the whole way, and that shit would drive me fucking crazy. All I'm seeing is rocks, dirt.
What part though? What part? Yeah, I was just about to say, I'm about to get specific with that. What part of California? Northern California, beautiful. Yeah. Southern California, yeah.
Yeah, I
don't know about no Southern California though.
I was down around Barstow, San Bernardino, and all that other crap.
Yeah, that's in the middle, so you kind of get some stuff.
I'm at the waypoint. I ain't got shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's almost like, yeah. Now, Northern California, man, you got them trees and stuff, them evergreens and whatnot, Lake Tahoe and all that pretty stuff. So, yeah, it's California is so big. It's definitely it's hard to, unless you meet someone that's right from the same area, you're going to get that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I love California. I hate California. Well, Sacramento's cool. Oh, I was down south. Oh, well, there you go. I got to think, or vice versa, actually. Sacramento's boring. Oh, well, I'm in LA, so, I don't tell you, homie.
Yeah.
So you get that back and forth.
Yeah, I think that's what it was for me, because anytime I went to California, it was for a training exercise. So automatically, I went to the desert. I didn't go to all those cool places.
Okay.
And then, and whenever I did go out there for the summer as a kid or whatever, we was out there in Barstow, which is freaking where military do their thing at as far as the Marine Corps. That's where we freaking ship our vehicles to through the railhead so we can bring them to goddamn what's that damn place? I've been there enough times. Oh, Camp
What
Wilson.
branch are you?
Camp Wilson out there by freaking Jericho and all that shit.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Palm Springs.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, when you say exercise, you ain't had no fun. I'm like, okay, you must have not been in the Air Force.
Exactly.
Because at Air Force flight, bro, I'm like, yeah, I have fun wherever I went.
Yeah, we used to.
I got to go out there and play that real game, play that ground game and stuff like that. They want to take you out there. It looks like Afghanistan. So yeah. That sounds all right.
Yeah, we would tease y'all and envy y'all at the same time.
I know y'all, man. Y'all hating. It's cool. Nah, I mean, but the thing is, though, for real, the branches, they all have such a different skill set and a purpose, so it's like, regardless of the teams at the end of the day, man, we all got our role, and we all got to be good at our role, and some roles just ain't gonna be, out there getting. I was watching this movie called Sandcastle on Netflix, man, and it was pretty, I imagine it was pretty damn accurate. It felt extremely like, oh yeah, that's the military stuff right there. But I never been in that situation. But it was just using Afghanistan. Just hey, here's a week in Afghanistan. And it was pretty brutal. And I'm just like, man, those guys are just those guys are some freaking warriors, man. People can't. The normal person cannot do that. The normal person cannot handle that. Marines and the infantry and the army, man, they're a special breed of people, and I give mad props to them, mad respect to them.
Yeah, that should be. It should be crazy, man. Cause like I said, we hated y'all, but we envied y'all at the same time. Cause like I can remember many times to where, I did come, when I did encounter Air Force personnel or even going to an Air Force base, I was just fucking amazed, man. I was like, what the hell? Especially the chow hall. I think one of my very first experiences. Yeah. One of my very first experiences with a freaking Air Force base and the dining facility, it fucking blew my mind. Cause like, all right, Marine Corps base, we just go in there. They got a lady at the front counter and everything. She take your meal card number down. She actually, if you want fast chow or slow chow, and she's sitting there with this hairnet on her head and warts on her face. And, she's somebody's spouse. So I can't talk too bad about her. And then I go in there and they just flop some meat on my tray, and I'll be like, hey, can I get some of them burritos? Or nah, you can only have either the meat or the burrito. I was like, well, goddamn. I was like, all right, well, give me this. Yeah. And then, that's what it is. I get some rinky-dink ass drink machine that hardly work, and it's majority giving me water because that's all we rate. And that's what it is. But I go to a motherfucking Air Force dining facility. I can tell you which one it was. It was Seymour motherfucking Johnson.
Ooh, man, that's a crappy one, too.
See? Look at that.
Yeah, man.
See, you saying that's crappy, and that was like the Taj Mahal for me. I walk in there, it's like freaking, they got these little display counters, and the food is spinning around on trays, and there's like, yeah, take whatever you want. And then,
you want me to make you mad real quick, or you cool?
Nah, go ahead. I don't care.
So they got this new thing, and I didn't really know what it was. Like I knew it was an initiative that they had, but they were trying to do this new. I don't know what it's called for real, but it's this for the chow hall. It is like an experiment. I don't know it was something weird, but I'm like, how can it be different? I mean, like, how can you further increase this experience? I go in there, and man, I tell you, bro, I go in there, and these people had a pizza section. Mm-hmm. They had a sub section. They had a wrap section. They had a we'll cook you food section. They had a we'll cook you a sandwich of your choosing section. The sub was a cold sub. Yeah. It wasn't the cook sub. Man, and then they had the food where it's displayed and all the other fun stuff. So that's what I had.
But man, like what you were saying, the hot line, the cold line, the stir fry, goddamn pizza line.
Yeah, the stir fry line, bro. I'm telling you, like it's like in there because they're saying it's some kind of new. I don't know what the word was. There's some word for it. When they have those tests, when they're testing something out on the men and stuff like that, it's one of those things. And I walk in. This is at Barksdale up in Louisiana, and I was over there for a little bit, and I was just like, man, this is some nonsense. Because one, just Barksdale in general, always just all the cool stuff because they got the command, they got the wing there. What's it called? Oh, the Global Strike Command is there. The Global Strike Command. Whenever the base has the combat command or whatever it is, they get all the cool fun stuff. I was over there up in Booties up in North Dakota. They give a rat's butt about us, man. So I'm just like, oh, so they get everything, huh? That's how it happens. That's how we do. And when they take a picture of the airplanes, they did it down in Barksdale, and everyone up in North Dakota took the picture of the airplanes. I'm like, okay, I see y'all. So, yeah, man, I feel your pain a little bit, just a little bit, not that much.
Yeah, but I see all that shit, and I was just like, what the hell? And then what was the real kicker for me is, I was done with my tray and everything. And, usually, we done. We go take it to the little thing, scrape our tray off, and dump it in the thing, and we gone by the business. The lady came out there and took my tray.
Yeah, bro.
I was like, what the hell is this? I didn't know how to react to that. I was like, she tried to take my tray. I thought we was about to fight in that motherfucker. I was like, leave my tray alone.
Yeah, man. They try to take your tray, bro. Shooting it. And at the very least, what you should have done, what you usually do is they have you put it in a little, it's a big old bin on wheels, and you slide it in there. It has a little slot for it. You slide it in there, and then they just roll the whole thing back and get it clean. So, yeah, man.
Culture shock.
Air Force does it big.
And then I'm coming out there. I'm all dirty and stank because I come from the field and everything, and y'all are pristine and pressed. And
hold up. See, I actually had a real job in the Air Force. I didn't just sit there and do that finance accounting stuff. No offense to those guys. No offense to those guys. They always mess up my pay no matter what. So yeah, offense to those guys because they got the easy job and they so busy going out to college, doing college while they're supposed to be working and stuff. And I don't even know what, doing 2-hour PT days where they outside playing flag football. Those, I'm not even going to get started with the SALT train, but trust me, I'm a little bit there with you. I was aircraft maintenance. We're mission essential, man. Us, security forces, missileers, and a couple other guys, mission essential. We legit, like, we don't get none of that fun stuff. Like, our chow hall, like, if we had a slow day, cool, go to chow hall, eat some food, whatever, you deserve it, cool. If it ain't a slow day, which it usually wasn't, we had the exact same thing you was talking about. I go up there, what's your social? Here you go. What do you want? I want box number 7. Okay, here you go.
Exactly.
You get box number 7. You might get some Uncrustables if you're lucky. If not, you get a sandwich in the baggie. Like, oh man, dude. So I definitely had that in Anderson up in Guam. Same thing. Like they had the flight kitchen and they just give you a box of food. And it was actually pretty good sometimes. Like, it just depends on, they pretty much got the leftovers. So sometimes they have no food. They'll have a little bit of food or, most times when they got their stuff, they'll have everything and they got rid of it or whatever. You had choice between orange and yellow Gatorade, both flavors I hate. I actually hate orange, but yellow is whatever. Lemonade is alright. Lemon lime. And then, the sandwiches would turn into here's 2 pieces of white bread with a thin layer of peanut butter. And, I forgot the jelly. So it'll be little stuff like that that'll make me mad. So I'm like, how do you forget to do your job? You just gotta pick peanut butter and jelly. If I forget to do my job, I might have a aircraft flying around with a freaking flashlight, in a compromising position. So if I do my job and mess it up, I might lose my career, like flat out. These Jews do some stuff and mess up. They just lose, they just don't lose nothing. They just kind of get a stern talking to. So yeah, man, I was in that boat. So I come in there, sweaty, oily or whatever we're doing for the day and, get that whole, hey, what you want, which box number you want. So I feel you, man. I feel you. I feel your pain just a little bit, a little bit. I want to emphasize the little bit part.
And then, not only that, it's just the living conditions as well. I seen
I know that.
I seen the Air Force barracks, and I was just like, "What is this? A hotel? What is this?" They had down in the little common area, they had the motherfuckers where you can go in there, you can rent a PlayStation and take it to your room. I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh, I ain't never seen that.
I know, it was some weird shit to me, man. It might have been one of them cool spots.
They do little different stuff. Sometimes they will do stuff. I vaguely remember something like that in the dormitories for tech school, since you're not there a long time.
Yeah.
I do remember like a DVD renting station. So we did have stuff like that. But I feel like that could be anywhere. I feel like you could have that in the Marines too. Like if it was just some dudes that were like, super active or whatever, and they're all, kind of hype about the squadron or whatever. Hey guys, let's get all the old DVDs together and we can rent them out to people. and we can have a snack bar. Like, that's just that thing where it's not Air Force mandated. It's someone who's like, hey, I got an idea, and they do that. So that's just some nerdy guys that bring cool ideas. And that's what I loved about the military is you got all these kind of people that are there that are all they all have their own, you know, skill set. They all have their experiences that they bring, and their good ideas turns into you know, their good ideas turn into like these just, oh man, that's awesome. Who's idea with that? Oh man, Johnson want to do that. Oh man, Johnson want to do that. Man, that's awesome, dude. Like, whatever, man. You know, freaking game tournaments or whatever. You know, beer, a beer party where I don't drink, so I don't know, but beer or something. Like, they would do some stuff where they go out and get kegs and have a barbecue. So they would do all kinds of stuff, man. You know, so some of that's just like, you know, the men themselves. Trust me, we just went by the Air Force standard. We would definitely not have as much stuff. But the dorms, I feel you on, because when I got in, they had just building new dorms up. That was another one of those things they're experimenting on and kind of checking out and seeing, you know, you know, how they're going to make this happen. For the dorms I was in, they tried to put me in with one person dorms. Yeah. And they're putting two of us in each one of them. Yeah. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I like nice things. I don't like to be cramped up with some bull like that. So I forget how, they didn't get me to the right section. So the guy I talked to wasn't my actual sponsor. So when I went and found my actual guy I was supposed to talk to, he was like, do you have a dorm? And I thought about it for a second and he technically said loaner key. And I said, nope. And then they went and got me to the dorm. I was like, hey, might as well gamble. And I got lucky and got in with the security forces guy. We were still sharing the dorm, but it was designed for two people. So it was better. Two guys in the same room, whatever. And, it would have more room, whatever. And he was always gone 5 days a week. He was gone. And then they made the refurbished ones had it. So it was just a single room, lot smaller of a room, but it was a single room kind of thing. Shared a bathroom. And then, well, it was only between two people. The other dorms were like shared bathroom between like four people. So that was kind of like, that was on that mess. You know, people are when they get in the military, they get away from home. They just don't want to clean nothing. So after that, I'm trying to think after that, yeah, man, that's pretty much it, man. Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. Now, however, they got these like hotel type rooms. They got the kitchen in there in the center. Like you got like four rooms attached to a little mini living area. You got a kitchen in there and a refrigerator provided to you by the United States military. And you got a microwave and you got your own room and your own bathroom in your own room. Like, bruh, So I ain't one of them guys that's like, hey, I want people to suffer just because I had to suffer. Definitely not. That's not my thing. But some stuff is too nice. We're getting we're getting too comfortable up in here, man. And then they gonna go on deployment and get stuck in the contingency dorms, and they're gonna be sitting there double thinking their life. They're gonna be sitting there trying to figure out why they're in the military because they're using that nice little stuff. So that's pretty much how that works out.
Yeah, man. I can remember when I first moved into the barracks when I joined, we had 3-man rooms with fucking 5 people in that bitch. And then I think, you know, as time went on, you know, they started reconfiguring the barracks and everything, and just like you said, they started making specifically designed 2-man rooms and everything with the one toilet, and they didn't have to share. Because I remember people, they think because the floor is tile and they have drainage grates in it that you can just piss on the floor. You can't do that. That's not what that's for, really. That's just in case some water get on the floor. You can just easily. That's for cleaning nasty purposes. That's not for you just to pee on.
That's trifling, man. That's trifling.
Hey, man, but see, I know why, as a Marine, you know, being through it for 16 years, I know why we don't get nice things, because we don't know how to treat this shit.
Oh, yeah. Nah, and the people that you get in the Marines and stuff like that, you know, you got it's a trickle down thing. It ain't like a superiority thing. It's just Air Force can be so picky with their people. And then Navy, you know, then they're picky with their people. And then next is, you know, Army. I don't know where the Army Marine stance is at with who they filter in and out and stuff like that. But I know one of those branches is just, we'll take anybody who can breathe as long as you ain't about to die kind of thing. And, yeah, man, like just the people that squeak in through those systems. I think it's the Army that's like that. The Army's like that. The Marines is still on that, like, we want you to have a decent head on your shoulders. We don't want no mess kind of thing. And yeah, the people that get in there, the people that get in there, man, you just get the who's who You get the who's who of nasty trifling people. And I will never, ever, ever figure that out. I will never, ever, ever go just sitting down and just write out an equation or write on the whiteboard and the theory of the military. I will never figure it out, man. It's amazing how people just get in there and you just like, you look at them and like, where are you from? Oh man, I'm from Oregon. Where in Oregon? Oh, some small town called Little Tree, something like that. And you're like, okay. That makes sense then. All right, cool. All right, well, nice to meet you, man. Stop pissing in the toilet grate or whatever. Yeah. Stop pissing in the bathroom grate.
Well, I know for a time, man, to go off what you were saying, it was a point in time to where we were just like, hey, man, you got a pulse? Can you stand up straight for 20 minutes? All right, we'll sign you up. And that was, all a large in part because of 9/11 going down. And we needed to plus up really fast. So they fucking lax the standards to, bare minimum so we can get.
Yeah. That waiver game was strong.
Yeah. The waivers are strong with this one. Cause I done seen some shit, dog. Like, how are you even breathing right now? Let alone, how did you dress yourself this morning?
Yeah. How did you survive? How did you survive up to this point? I have literally asked that question. And that's a question I never thought in my life I would ask. Like, how have you survived to this point in your life? Like, have you stayed on this earth for this many years and not died yet from natural selection? And I'm not joking, man. I'm not joking. I have wondered that about people. I've never thought in my life, not for one second, I would ever look at someone's existence and go, hey, how did you make it to this point? Yeah. Oh, well, I was homeschooled. Oh, okay.
Explains a lot.
And then get an answer that makes sense and be like, oh, okay, that makes a lot of sense. Cool. Oh man.
I can remember one of my last units before I retired and everything. We had a female there, and it was just that what you just said, man. How did you survive this long? Because she couldn't wear boots or whatever because she had something wrong with her feet. So she had to wear tennis shoes in her uniform, which was awkward as fuck anyway. And then she had rheumatoid arthritis in her hands and wrists, and she had to get driven somewhere to get medical treatment because she had to get these injections in her back, and she couldn't drive by herself. And it was just all kind of, that's just what I remember. There's more to that. And I'm like, how are you here right now? What is, what is going on right now? I was like, 'cause, I mean, she can't PT. She can't.
No, she can't what?
She couldn't PT. She can't do, exercising and shit. So.
Okay, PT, okay.
Yeah, so she can't do, certain things for us because she always got appointments. She's never at fucking work because she got an appointment. And it's not like something she makes up or whatever. It's like legit she had to go to these appointments. And then she got to have all kind of accommodations in the barracks. And you know how we just spoke about barracks. And that's almost like pulling teeth for us. It's like, all right, you need all these accommodations and you're sharing a room with 2 to 3 other people and they don't get these accommodations, but you do. So how is that fair to everybody else?
Yeah.
I mean, eventually they put her out. I mean, and she getting paid for the rest of her life now, but I don't even see how.
Yeah, you got a disability.
Yeah, I don't even see how I got up to that goddamn point. What was boot camp like for this person is what I'm trying to figure out.
Who knows, man?
Because I know for us,
who knows?
3 months of hell is what boot camp is. And then,
I'm saying for y'all, other jump for her or for me?
Well, for us, like Marine Corps. So I'm like, I don't understand how she survived 3 months with all her ailments. I know that stuff doesn't just pop up. You know what I'm saying? Weird times.
That's just the military not having a good follow through system. I mean, sometimes they get people and they're real good about like, oh, you lied in your thing, you're out kind of thing. But man.
Oh yeah. And I got you. There's people that game the system because like, there's no doubt in my mind that she had all that shit before she joined. Some of that stuff anyway. And then when she got in, when she was in the system, oh, boot camp beat me up so bad.
Oh yeah.
And get paid for the rest of your freaking life, man.
Yep.
See, I had a feeling about that or whatever, because like I'm retired now and I rate a certain amount of disability, and I can remember, you know, going through as I was doing my time or whatever. I was just like, my whole concern was like, man, we supposed to be hard, man. We come here to work or whatever. I ain't trying to daggone go to medical every 5 minutes because my back hurt or my knees bothering me or some shit like that, you know.
Bro, I know somebody like that though, bro.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not just
I know somebody like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of people like that, man. Because I mean,
yeah,
it's because of the training or whatever, and you know that status quo or whatever. I mean, you a Marine, you hard. I mean, this is how we train. We rough and tough, and you know whatever. I say, man, you can't be no bitch. Talk about your ankle hurt or whatever, and go to medical. Because I mean, you still got work to do. God damn it. You know, so I mean, it was a lot of that majority of my career or whatever, that mentality or whatever. Even like there was times to where I knew something was wrong with my body and I still didn't go. I was like, man, I gotta be to work, because then if I don't show up, somebody's gonna have to cover for me and so on and so forth. And then I got shit I gotta take care of personally that nobody else knows how to do and so on. So, you know, there was a lot of overlooking shit. But when it got to the end and it was time to check out and be done with this shit, I was like, oh, my neck, my back, my ankle, my elbow, and the process is crazy as fuck, because I guess so many people go through the disability process that it's a standard that you have. Yeah. It's mandatory that you have certain things or whatever, like tinnitus. Everybody has that. Like, you know, some form of hearing loss, whether you work around a lot of loud equipment or whatever.
Oh, I do. I sure do.
Especially
man.
you. I definitely understand, because I used to refuel the F-18s and all kind of shit like that. So, but I'm going in there and I'm trying to report my injuries and shit. And the dude's like, all right, so you got hearing loss, right? And I was like, I didn't say that or write that down, but yes, I guess I do. I was like, I'm not going to say no. I'm agreeing with you. You're trying to help me out. So, I mean, man, it's just, I don't know. Because I remember I had surgery. I had surgery on my goddamn testicles. And shit, they was expecting me back in a week, and that's like a 2-week out period. And I was like, come on, dog. I had my nutsack cut open. What's up? Can I get some time?
Man, dude, man, my appendix almost exploded. I caught it before it went that bad, because I listen to my body, maybe too much sometimes, but I listen to my body. I definitely don't just push myself if I feel something's wrong. Had pressure in my abdominal area. And I was like, man, this feels like indigestion, and I never get indigestion. I've never in my life gotten. I'm too young. This is when I was 21 or 22. I'm like, this is weird. I've never felt this. Had a really crappy back in the gym, so I was like, something has to be wrong. And I'm not going to tell the story because it's too long of a story, but the reference I made to the person that is always hurt, that person was on my shift, and she just kept on doing stuff. And I'm talking like, I was kind of running things, you know, my supervisor was like there, but he was just being lazy that night. So I was dropping people off, organizing maintenance, stuff like that. I was on a roll. Like, I was like, man, my clock was going. I was just like hitting stuff up, like just ding, 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 just like whatever. Like everything was going great. And tell me why I'm sitting there, like I got like her thing was in the middle of the taxi area. So I was making a circle, just making a nice circle. This way the maintenance was laid out. And man, every single time I came around to her, oh, we can't get this on, or oh, this happened, or oh, I can't find this, or oh, I need a rubber ladder because I might get shocked if I touch this battery. All kinds of stuff, man. I had to check one thing. It was a transponder set. It's a thing in the movies where when your plane's in the air, it has a little triangle up there and it tells what tail number it is. It has 4 modes on it. The 4th mode is classified. The 4th mode, you got to go into the safe, the vault, get the codes for the day. You got to load those codes up and make sure, you know, people got the correct frequency, all kinds of nonsense. And you got to go get that stuff. You got to go upload it. And then you got to like go upload the test set. You got to do all this stuff. Complicated. It's not just walk up and just push a button. So tell me why it was like 2 hours. It should have been done in 30 minutes. This was like 2-3 hours had gone past. I finally drive up. I'm like, hey, he got tested from outside. You got to be standing outside. in the right next to where the cars go, the trucks go. And I was like, okay, so what happened? And oh yeah, these three modes were good. And I'm just like, what about the fourth mode? The fourth mode? And she's facing me, and I'm facing the jet. And I looked over her shoulder, and then the jet shuts off, and I heard a huge click, which means something's broken. And I look at the power source, and the power source all turn red. Like, all the lights turn red, which tells me the power source is broke. And you know how it is getting power sources out to the jet. Yeah. It takes an hour, if you're lucky. If they ain't finishing their Madden game, they'll freaking sit there and wait 2-3 hours before they come bring you. And it was almost time to go. So basically, it's going to be one of the things where we were going to get out early, but now we're not because you want to play games. Bro, the second that jet turned off, I looked up, I looked at her, I exploded, man. And I exploded. I just went off. I was just, no one could tame me. And I don't go off easily at all.
Exactly.
And after I got done, I started driving away, and I started driving toward the, off the flight line. And, my boss was like, hey, what are you doing? Where are you going? Why are you driving in the parking lot? I'm like, what? I'm about to explode. Literally. I'm pretty sure my appendix is about to explode. I'm going to the hospital. I will see you guys next week. I'll text you and let you know how it goes. And he just like horrified, like, are you, what, he just could not get a word out. And I'm just like, what? It's cool. I'll see you later, man. And, dude, I went to the hospital, and I had a show that day too. Yeah, man, your appendix definitely is about to explode, and it's lucky you got in here, because literally you probably wouldn't have made it another 12 hours. And I was like, are you sure? It's like, no, you probably could have. It might have went down, whatever. I'm like, oh, well, I have a wrestling show tonight, so I can't do it. He's like, yeah, I'm not letting you out the hospital. And little did I know I could have left anyway if I wanted to, but I probably would have got in trouble with the Air Force if I left. Yeah, they would have been like, they are. So anyway, to finish this story, when can you come back? The doctor said at least 2 weeks. Come see a doctor on base. Went and saw a doctor on base. Oh yeah, I'm gonna clear you for administrative duty. And I'm like, what? And she's like, I'm gonna clear you for administrative duty. I'm like, I can't do that. She was like, why not? And I'm like, it hurts when I walk. Like, well, yeah, you're gonna sit down all day. So I'm gonna walk to my car, drive all the way up there, go in that building, and whatever. And she was, I forget what she said, but she was like, I'll give you 2 more days. We'll see how you are. And in those 2 days, and over the weekend, my incision got infected. Ooh. And that was just from not doing anything. So, like, I go back in there, I go see the doctor, and, an Asian dude, and this dude, bro, this is my OG right here, man. I was like, so what's up? He's like, you been moving around? I'm like, yeah, they made me go to the doctor on base and do some stuff. You need lay down, no work, 1 week, do not do anything. And I'm like, yes, sir. I go back to that chick, man. She's all like, well, I think I'm going to clear you for duty. I'm like, the doctor said you don't work. She's like, well, I need that in writing. Remember she said I need that right? I handed that thing to her so fast. Well, I'll go get my supervisor to look at this. I'll be right back. She went and got someone to look at it, and then they both came in and asked him, try to trick me into saying I feel fine. I'm like, look, no, hey, I had an infection, had 103-degree fever. Like, it wasn't just like in my cut. It was legit, like, I was getting sick. Like, I'm like, people have died from less. Nah, I'm going to rest. I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not coming back to work just to sit there and quote unquote do administrative duty. I work with airplanes. There's no administrative duty for me to do at all, except for like do forms. And that's dumb to sit at work for 8 hours to wait till the end of the shift to do some forms. So no, like I was just furious, man. I was like, man, this makes no sense. Just,
hey man, that's that military logic, man.
Dude. Military, it's special.
It's that logic.
Mm-hmm.
They expect you to daggone be a machine sometimes. Man. You're just flesh and bone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, but I feel you on, I'm not quick to anger as well. It's only certain circumstances that'll, make me hit a boiling point. And that's when there's something involving my kids, whether they are in the right or in the wrong. I get highly heated about that. And when I talk to my ex-wife.
Of course.
So that's the only really times that I get like up in arms about shit. But I mean, in the military, man, if you ever had to hear me yell at somebody, something was really, 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 really wrong. You missing some chromosomes. Something is really wrong with you for me to be yelling at you. Cause
Right.
I've been in 16 years and I can only recall maybe, other than, people just being general dumbasses or whatever, hey man, don't do that shit. But there's only been maybe 4 or 5 times in 16 years that I legitimately, yelled at somebody, gotten somebody's ass to the point to where, like, I was standing outside of my body looking at myself and it's like, who the fuck is this yelling?
Mm-hmm.
So, man, it's just a weird thing. But we done talked about a good 40 minutes just on the military experience alone. Dude, you a professional wrestler, aren't you?
Yeah, something I do in my spare time.
I mean, we get a little bit of feeling from where you started out on the West Coast and going to the East Coast. Now you're down south and everything. What brought you to professional wrestling? What was like your earliest memory of professional wrestling?
It was Undertaker turning on some lights with his arms. I was just like, what? Well, the thing is like I was actually watching. I remember from first memories ever, but I hated it because I wanted to watch the Rugrats and Looney Tunes and stuff. I was so young. My older brother, he was the one who loved wrestling, and I hated WCW because it always came on during like my Nickelodeon shows. And then one day I guess he finally heard about WWF or however that would happen, and he turned on WWF, and then I saw like Undertaker. I'm like, yo, what's that? And then we would fight over WWF and WCW. So like, it's been something I've always watched. I've always, admired and looked up to. It's just been there, a staple of my life, man. It just has never not been there.
Exactly.
It has never not been there.
I totally understand that. I'm the same way, man. It's just like what I tell everybody, and people probably are going to be tired of hearing this shit because, I mean, you're new to me. I mean, we haven't spoke before, so I have to tell you because you don't know. But I mean, just about every time we get into wrestling, we have the same little spiel. Like, I didn't get into professional wrestling because of professional wrestling. I got into professional wrestling watching Suburban Commando and No Holds Barred and all these other Hulk Hogan movies.
Mm.
And then I happened to go to a rental store one day and I seen a WrestleMania cover with Hulk Hogan on the front. I was like, hey, that's that guy from that movie. And that's how I got on wrestling.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Because we get that age difference. So that's crazy how that's your into it. Just seeing someone in the movies. And that's funny because people always crap on the movies. Fans do. They crap on these movies. Bro, like you just said, you watch Hogan and then you say, hey, what's that?
Yeah.
So watching wrestling, like, people just don't get the overall end game. That's pretty cool. I've never heard someone say they watch wrestling because of that. Closest I've gotten to that is, and not to be, I'm not trying to insult, but as close I've ever gotten to that was Total Divas. Then I started watching wrestling. And, of course, it's night and day, obviously. So not to take offense to it, but it's night and day. But still concept, same concept. That's how it worked out, man. And that's just amazing.
I guess it's weird because I guess from what the internet says and what other people say is like, I guess I got a bad taste in movies and stuff. Cause like, I mean, I kind of like those things. I mean, especially at the time because that's all they had. There was nothing better than that at the time. Well, I lied. Mm-hmm. They did have some better stuff, but still that was kind of like normal. It was an okay movie for that time. And, like now, people are up in arms about the Netflix series Iron Fist. They're talking about, oh man, this is some bullshit and all this other stuff. And I'm just like, it was all right. I kind of liked it. See, look at you. See, now, you want to judge me too?
Okay, here's the thing. I liked it. I like anything more. Like, bro, it is the time to be alive.
Yes.
I love anything Marvel. I almost love anything DC because they started messing up. Supergirl's atrocious. But even though I know why people don't like Iron Fist is because this guy's the immortal Iron Fist. He's running around like a little crybaby bitch, crying about everything. And that's what turned people off to Peter Parker and Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2 back in the day.
Yeah.
However, not everybody can be a big bad dude. Cause like, for example, Daredevil didn't even get his suit until the last episode of season 1. Just rewatch that. Last episode of season 1. he didn't even get he don't know how to use his powers. He don't know what to do. So like, yeah, he might be a little bit crybaby now, but we just watched season 2. Watch the freaking next, the Defenders. Oh God, Defenders. The Defenders, and it comes out. People just kind of need to take a chill pill on that, and kind of relax and just kind of watch. I cannot stand it. And we're going to get this conversation later about wrestling. Same thing with movies. I cannot stand when people act as if everything has to be 5 stars. Everything has to be the mind-numbing, thrilling roller coaster dive feeling forever. You can't. Not only can you not, but you're not supposed to, because you got to leave yourself somewhere to go. You got to leave yourself somewhere to develop. You just go out the gate, being all badass. The first X-Men movie, and the actual first X-Men movie, which is pretty crappy if you won't go back and watch it. And it's so funny. Side tangent on that. The movies back in the day were made. I don't even know what the word is. I know there's a word. I know if I meet a film person, I'm going to ask them about this. They're going to give me a word for it. They made it the same style they made movies like Mrs. Doubtfire, where they played dramatic music and they had the clear as day. Hey, look at our laugh. There's our laugh spot right here. So it's pretty funny. X-Men 1 and 2, when they use their powers, the music would start playing and it'll get all dramatic. The airplane scene in number 2 when Magneto saved them from falling to the ground in the X-Jet. Yeah. Like, Jean Grey couldn't move the jet with her brain. Are you kidding me? The most powerful psychic in the world can't keep the X-Jet from crashing. Storm just lost her concentration and can't make a tornado. Bro, get out my face with this. But back then we didn't know any better. Back then we did not know any better. Yeah. In that first movie, if they eradicated Magneto, where would they have gone next? Clearly they didn't have a clue where they're going next anyway. Yeah. But that was an opportunity for them to make a good franchise because we wanted to be there. We wanted to watch this amazing franchise unfold, and we did basically watch it. We did basically like, oh yeah, this is hot, to the point where they made 2 more, but it could have been so much better. And it's so funny if you look back at how that is, how it could have been, but it's not. Like, it was like the pulse of the superhero movies. It beat once. It made 1 beat. Now it's freaking, adrenaline and, everyone's watching superhero movies and the life force of superhero movies is just like is in full tilt. Yeah. So for the way it was back in the day, it's just amazing how they did that. I just love talking about that. You kind of got me on that. But with that being said, like I said, if they would have annihilated Magneto in that first movie, they wouldn't even have been able to make the Days of Future. They wouldn't even have been able to make any. Well, they could have made the Days of Future. They could have did that. They reset it. That's what they reset. I forgot. Yeah. They did reset the franchise, and that's another conversation in itself. I'm mad. I'm still mad about that. But they reset the franchise under our nose, just out of the blue. Mm-hmm. I love that movie. But they would have annihilated Magneto. It would have freaking. It's like they would have to do it way back. They would have to reset it way back then. They wouldn't be able to go anywhere else besides Apocalypse. And even then, he played a vital part in that. So it's all about storytelling and building up and like making your villains like, okay, he takes the bump on the face this time, then goes to the next one. So with Danny Rand with the Iron Fist, you can't just bring out everybody. They've been telling the story throughout 3-4 series. Yeah. Jessica Jones don't really count. I don't know what they did with her. They just went and did some random stuff with her little psycho ex-boyfriend. But and Luke Cage, same thing. They didn't really link anything in with him. But they did in a way when they were referencing those characters and stuff like that. So it kind of put into the ultimate big arc of things where even in Daredevil 2, they're mentioning, Hell's Kitchen getting all these superheroes. So it still played in to bolster up the overall product, even though those last 2, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage didn't put anything into the storyline with the hand. They just kind of just did their thing with their own respective superheroes. Yeah. But then Danny Rand comes in and then the hand is back. It's amazing. And even then, I think they had some reference in Luke Cage to what they were doing. But like even then, like it's just that they're just building this whole entire world stick by stick, ever so delicately. And people just kind of need to just chill and watch some stuff and say, okay, cool, this is what it is. Let's see where they go from this next. That's what the excitement should be. And I think that's kind of like a young generation thing that people just want to just have adrenaline rush for 2 hours straight instead of having an actual mindful construction of an experience.
Yeah.
Sorry, I get excited about this kind of stuff.
No, man, I totally agree with you, man. We on the same plane, if you want to speak Air Force terms. But, man, it's just like, that's what I get from the whole Iron Fist thing. Like, people, and I spoke about this at length on another episode with, I think it was episode 67 or something. And it was just like, all right, everybody expected him to be, coming out of there, because you watched the Netflix series, right?
Yeah.
All right. So supposedly he crashed and he was there for 15 years training to become the Iron Fist. And then, damn, he snuck out when the opening came around, because the opening comes around every 15 years and shit. And damn, he went back to try to recover his life. I mean, that's the overarching thing. And then he finds some shit along the way or whatever. I got it. But people were so pissed that he was there for 15 years and didn't come out fucking the Iron Fist, both glowing hands, the cowl, the fucking outfit, kicking everybody's ass and everything. And my defense for that was because if he did that now, just like you said, what would you have later? And then I even went to this point of thinking or whatever. All right, they showed flashbacks of how he was with his parents and with everybody before, the plane crash and everything. He was a spoiled rich kid. He was sheltered. He didn't know how to defend himself. He let people bully him and so on and so forth and everything. I mean, his parents was his world. So the plane accident happened. And that was his focus for that 15 years. Obviously, he got his training and everything. He know how to take care of himself. He got a little bit more confidence. But being the Iron Fist was not his primary focus. For 15 years, he was worried about how to get the fuck out of that place. So what I was saying to people is like, all right, I could play basketball every day for 15 years and still not be good at it if that's not my primary focus, if that's not what I'm putting my heart and soul into. If I'm thinking about something else,
right,
I'm not going to be good at basketball. I probably make a couple shots, get a couple fundamentals down real pat, but I'm not going to be fucking Michael Jordaning on people, So that was my defense for this, because, I mean, it was evident. As soon as he got out of there, he's just like, fuck all that Iron Fist shit. I'm trying to find my family and piece together what happened to the plane and everything, So along
which
the
led
way,
to the end. So it's like, come on.
And along the way, because like, if you really want to dissect it, he didn't become Iron Fist, or get the powers or whatever, until the end of his training, which was 15 years, and then he snuck out. He never had time to train with the Iron Fist powers or everything, or get any tutelage or whatever. So we about right, him breaking out and him not knowing what to do with his powers.
Right.
So yeah, man, I feel you, dog. I'm on the same page with you, man. It's like, be patient, motherfucker.
Yeah, just be patient.
Yeah, sit down, be humble.
I don't know.
Professional wrestling.
Right?
So,
and we ain't even talking about wrestling yet. We still ain't even talking about wrestling yet, but it's a parallel, but we can get to that later.
Yeah. So, like, all right, you seen Undertaker. He was captivated by his presence and the showmanship and all this cool stuff. And it was never a point in time to where wrestling wasn't in some kind of involvement in your life. When did you pull the trigger and decide, hey, I think I could do this?
When I was 17. I technically couldn't start training until I was 18. But I definitely went to a show. Great Khali was there. I don't know why I remember that. Oh, because he's a big dude. That's why.
Yeah, no
and
shit.
they just had the first SmackDown HD set in Hampton, Virginia. And after that, I was just like, I can do this. Watching Great Khali, of course, I thought that. But I was like, I can do this. I don't know why I'm sitting around messing around. So I went home and got on Google, and Vanguard Championship Wrestling came out of Yorktown, Virginia. Or not Yorktown. Newport News, Yorktown, on that border. Right off of 64 West. But yeah, that came up, and went there, I think, that next week or so. And I'm trying to think. It was a Saturday. I think it was a Saturday, maybe. Or Wednesday. I don't know. I went there, watched the training, man. I was excited. And then my mom crapped on it and was like, nah, I ain't signing this. You can't do this. I don't want you doing this. Being a typical mom. So she kind of crapped on that. And I guess she thought I was just going to forget about it. And shoot, man, I went to sign that joint immediately when I turned 18. It wasn't even a joke.
Yeah.
Wasn't even a joke. Like, I wasted not a single second. So, yeah, man. So that's when it officially happened, man, when I was 18. Day of. Happy birthday to myself, you know?
I think this kind of thing, that's like the exact same thing happened to me when I was going to join the military. I was 17, and I could have been in the debt program if my mama would have signed the papers, but she was like, nah, fuck that noise. You ain't doing that shit. And I was like, well, you can either do it now, or we can wait till I turn 18 and I just do it on my own, you know?
Yeah.
So I feel you on that. So, I mean, what was the atmosphere like there? You know, getting to sit there and watch the training and get to know these personalities that would probably be your trainer at some point.
Dude, it was terrifying, man. I mean, I'm sitting there like, oh, this is how the dream's made, blah, oh my God, blah, blah, blah. You know, I'm sitting there just a billion miles going through my freaking head, a million thoughts going through my head at a million miles an hour, just watching all this. And these guys are in here throwing themselves through the ringer, and they were just going hard. And it was just amazing, man. It was just amazing. Just, gosh, man, the adrenaline, man, just the rush, you know, it was amazing. Just that's all I can say. It's just amazing. That's all I can really say. And watching all of them and train and trainers just kind of lead, you know, to practice through and watching all these guys sweating and got the garage door open, got the fan on. It's hot, summertime in Virginia. It was something else. So when I first started, man, I was, you know, terrified. I'm like, man, can I hang with these guys? Can I do all that? And I came to find that I was pretty athletic anyway. So a lot of the stuff that I was doing was actually not out of my realm. So it was actually pretty comfortable in there because I was picking up everything pretty fast, get an understanding of it. But, you know, the moves aren't everything, but they're definitely something. I know some people that don't know moves and they can't really do much because of it. And it's pretty entertaining because it's like, not entertaining, but it's pretty weird because when I watch that kind of stuff, when you see that kind of stuff and you see how like something's easy for you, it's not easy for somebody else.
Yeah.
And you watch how, that could have stopped me dead in my tracks. It lets you know that, you know, you survived the first, wave, I guess you could say, of could be difficulties. I guess, you know, hurdles, if you will.
Yeah.
So, because hurdles are there to see how bad you want it, man. Sometimes people get caught in the first one, you know, and it's up to them whether or not they're going to keep on going or they're just going to call it quits there. So,
yeah. Tell me what your first bump was like.
Oh man, also terrifying, dude. That was the ring, and I didn't figure this out till the end of training. Not end of training, but like 6-7 months in, or right before I moved away. That just hurt me. That hurt. It was stung. I was just like, I can't do this for the rest of my life, you know. But you know, obviously it gets better. But when we took a ring apart. And you know that stuff you put under carpet when you lay it down on concrete? You have that little, that foamy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We took the ring apart one day, man, and apparently they had put foam there, and that's all they put was foam.
Yeah.
We pulled the canvas back, man, and the garage door was open, and there's a gentle Virginia breeze blowing. It all blew off the freaking boards. It literally all just blew off. Like, it disintegrated. It had been there so long, it disintegrated.
God damn.
And we were bumping on wood. So, that was always a fun discovery there. But yeah, man. But you know, I was like, shoot, man, let's do it again, and kept on doing it. And here I am.
I mean, just think about that you are making yourself fall on purpose. I mean,
yes.
It's like your body and your mind is rejecting that whole concept. It's like,
Yep. That's pretty much it. But you know, funny enough, I had that issue, but I train guys now, and I have seen a physical manifestation of that, how it looks when someone is in that mindset versus someone who is thinking that, because we're all thinking that when we do it, versus people who do it and they are thinking that, but they commit to it.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. One guy I saw, he like would jump up in the air and do like kind of a half senton bump.
Yeah.
And he just could not get it right. And I just couldn't figure out for the life of me how he couldn't get it right. Yeah. So yeah, man. You know, it's it's something, bro.
and that's another thing. I mean, how frustrating is that? It's like, all right, training somebody. Cause I mean, I have a little bit of experience as well. Like in the military, I train students on, freaking motor vehicle operations and everything. So showing them how to do things or telling them how to do things, it can be fucking infuriating because you know how to do it and you know how easy it is, but this person is not grasping the concept.
Right.
You know, cause like, even when you're talking about, training somebody in the ring or whatever, I mean, I have a minor in professional wrestling as well. So it was a point in time to where I was like, all right, this bumper shit ain't nothing, because I learned this shit in the military because we do martial arts training, and the break falls are the same as just about any other bumps that you're going to do in the ring. You know, if you're going to fall to the side, you fall this way. If you fall for the back, tuck your chin and fall this way. And, you know, it's the same stuff. So when it was on me to do it, obviously the first one sucked because I was like, I don't want to fall down. But, you know, I got it down, and then we would get more people coming in, and I would be the freaking, what they call it? We call them the uki or whatever.
Yeah.
You the damn, the training dummy and everything. All right, this is how you do a back bump. It's like, Rob, come over here and do it. Bam. And I would do it. And I had to get up and show somebody else how to do it. Bam. And I'd just they wear me out just to show other people how to do it. They're all right, now come in the ring the hard way. God damn it. All right. And I'm flying over the goddamn top of the rope and landing on my back and shit just to show somebody else. And then I done beat myself up. Now it's your turn to do it. And you sitting there, and I even try to break it down on the smallest level. Like when we're doing the back bumps, I would squat down to like put my butt on my heels, and I would just tell them, hey man, just rock back, tuck your chin, slap your arms down. And some people couldn't even do that. And it would blow my fucking mind to like, this is so simple. Why is this so hard for you?
Right.
Clothesline suck, by the way.
What was that?
I said clothesline suck, by the way.
Yes, they do.
The first ones anyway. I mean, but shit, I can still imagine that it would suck going on. Because I got hit with my first one and I wasn't expecting it. I mean, I was expecting it, but I wasn't expecting it. Because it's like, hey man, this how you come off the ropes, you do your 3 paces in, then you do your back bump. You make minimal contact with the arm, and it look good. Bet I got it. So here I come, counting in my head, hit the ropes, come off 1, 2. I'm expecting to hit the third step. Nope. I hit the arm, and then I would hit the fucking ground. Teeth clicked together, my head bounced off the mat, then I just jumped up like nothing happened. I had to no-sell it. I was like, yeah, I got it. That was cool. And as soon as he turned his back, I was like, oh, fuck, that hurt so bad. So, yep. It sucks.
It does, man. But, you know, your love is, the love for the biz is a lot more than just that. So, you know, kind of pays off. No one likes falling on the ground violently.
No. So, I mean, you up there, how long you trained in Virginia?
A little over a year. I'm trying to think. A little over a year, and then I went to the Air Force. I had a very few matches during that time when I was doing my training. So I didn't get back into it until 2010-ish. Oh yeah, no, beginning of 2010. So that's when I went to this place called Northern Outlaw Wrestling up in North Dakota. And that was an interesting experience, and I would do it all over again because it was definitely helped me become who I am today.
Sweet. Now, you went from Virginia to North Dakota. How we end up down here in the South that you don't like so much?
Yeah. So, after I got out the Air Force, been wrestling North Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota. I know I'm forgetting some states. Saskatchewan, Manitoba, who's up in Canada a lot. Love Canada. CWE, Canadians Wrestling Elite. Danny Duggan runs that. Did a lot of work up there, and I just felt like it was coming to an end. So I got out the Air Force early and came down to Virginia. And from there, it was kind of like trying to figure out where to go next. And I was putting my sights on Jersey, Monster Factory, ROH. I went to a couple of seminars, and they liked me, and they they told me to come up there and train. And that was one thing I knew for sure is like, there's not a lot of people trying to go places once or twice and think that they're just going to get, yeah. If you're damn good or there's something that you fire, yeah, you will get picked up, have the confidence. But you got to realize that it's a lot easier to go straight to the source and sit under the water, so to speak, than it is to just, go get a drink and then hope they ask you to come back and drink some more of the water. Like, it's not going to work. That's not going to work.
Yeah.
So, gearing up to move to RH, Monster Factory, and I go up to a seminar with Booker T at it in Connecticut. And long story short, got roasted. I suck. Embarrassed myself in front of Booker. It was great. There was about 40 people there. Some guys who went up there were part of certain schools together, so they went up there and did all this cool stuff. And I'm over there looking like an asshole because I'm trying to work with some guy I could barely speak English. And went back on my tail between my legs. Went back home, told my guys I was training with, hey, let's go up here together. Let's have Booker to look at us, whatever. They all dropped out on me one by one. I get mad. I said, screw it, I'm not going to go up there. And, yeah, man, I went to go to sleep that night. It was after a wrestling show, so I got on late as is around 1 o'clock. And I lay down, I put my head down and go to sleep. And I'm falling asleep. Like, took a long time for me to fall asleep. I'm starting to fall asleep. And finally, my alarm goes off because I set it 2 weeks before because I do things like that and make sure I don't forget. I'm paranoid like that.
Yeah.
So I set an alarm like 2 weeks before and, it wakes me up. I snooze it immediately and say, screw that, not going. And then in the back of my head, man, you miss all the shots you don't take. That's all I kept on remembering is you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So I said, screw it, hopped in the car, bag was already packed, drove to Connecticut, 7 hours, got there at 11 o'clock. The building last time was packed, line around the front. Got there this time, nobody was there. I was mad, I was scared, I thought I drove up there, wrong date, whatever. Nope. I was in there, people were like, we don't know why no one signed up, but here we are. And, yeah, man, it's just me by myself, sitting there by myself. And I'm just like, cool. Booker comes in, and I basically paid $50 for a private training session for 5 hours with Booker T. That's basically how it worked out. It's freaking hilarious. And that in itself kind of got me upset because I'm just like, how in the world can guys just not want to come get some learning, some kind of seminar, teachings and stuff like that. So it just really got under my skin, really bad. Got under my skin. I was like, man, I'm surrounded by a whole bunch of people that don't want to go to seminars and learn. And I'm not knocking them, hey, they're going out there and working instead. So cool, I guess. But still, I know there's a lot of new trainees out there that could have benefited from that didn't even bother to show up. So I, got salty at that. Trained with Booker, went a lot better this time. He gave me some good one-on-one stuff. And that's really amazing to have some one-on-one action. That's just crazy. So, yeah, man. So from there, afterwards, I'm like, hey, Book, man, I got to do something, man. I can't do this no more. I can't be here no more. I need to change. And he's just like, yeah, come on down to Houston, Texas, kind of reality wrestling. I'm okay, all right, cool. I'll email you and get some details from you and stuff like that. I emailed him, didn't get any details. So I was sitting there like, well, this mother Canucker. Emailed him again, nothing. And I'm petty. So I got in my car and drove down to Texas unannounced. I was like, you know what, man? All right, I see you. I'm just coming down there. How about that? Like, I don't know why. I just remember that. I think I told the story the other day and I left that part out. He didn't reply to my email. So I just legit just hopped up. Now I could have emailed the other website, the actual website. I could have emailed the Facebook page or whatever. But I was like, nah, you know what? He told me he would reply. He has not. So I'm going to go ahead and just roll on down there. And, yeah, man, did and gave me a look and, told me, got a good base to work with and, I should come on down. And shoot, he said come on down. So I came down because I'll be crazy to have someone telling me come down and not come down.
Yeah.
I was going to go somewhere anyway. That was the plan. I was going to go to RH anyway. They told me to come. That's like, again, I think if these guys went out and went places and someone told them, hey, come on out here, we could use you. And if you truly believe that A, you have the skill to succeed, B, that place can take you somewhere, then go out and move. Go do it. Don't just go back home and say, oh, I got a girlfriend. I got to work or some bull. Like, if your girlfriend ain't supporting you like that, then get rid of her because you don't need her anyway. If your job ain't supporting you like that, quit because you don't need that job because they ain't supporting you. So, like, it's just a mindset. Okay. So, yeah, man. So that's how I got down here. Drove down January 4th, 2015 and been here ever since.
Sweet. Now, I mean, getting down there because were you there for the change in facility? Because I know it was at one place and then now they got the big place down in
it was actually that's the reason why we got it was because I knew the guy that owned it. I'm sitting right here actually inside the building itself. I knew the guy that owned it and kind of got that going. So yeah, I facilitated that, and it was a stretch. But the old place was homely, had a nice good feeling to it, but it was too small. And now we're in this nice big arena, and we have our television set here, set up all the time. We got 2 training rings, a big open space for weight equipment and exercise, and we could do other events. Yeah. So, it's nice, man. It's nice, it's pretty cool.
Cause I can remember, hearing about the old place or whatever. I can remember the little promos for the commercials right behind the bowling alley, and I was like, man, whenever I got to Houston, or I want to go to that place, but then y'all moved it down to Texas City, which is way hell away from where the hell I am. I'm way up here on the north side. And if you know anything about Houston, going from the north side to the south side, that can be like a day journey if you catch traffic.
Oh, yeah, for real.
So I was like, fuck. Because, I mean, you're not the only reality of wrestling superstar that I've had on the show. I've had Kiefer Bartek on here as well.
Bartek. Yeah, I know Bartek.
Which
man, bun hippie. No, I'm playing. That's my boy. That's my boy.
Which would kind of threw me off because from the time that he was on here, months back up until now, I mean, he was talking about his tag team partner and all kind of stuff, and now him and Cam Cole and split, and I'm like, oh, I seen the news on Instagram, and I was like shocked. I was like, I didn't know what to think.
Yeah, man, trying to figure out who Shawn Michaels is and who's Martin Jannetty.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, man. So trying to figure that out.
Yeah. And because full disclosure, I don't really do research and stuff like that. That's why I asked you so many questions. But if I'm not mistaken, you've just won your first title here not too long ago.
Actually, I'm gonna speak on that. That's fine. I had one podcast with this guy, literally named off details about my life that I didn't even know were available. So, that's cool. That is fine. This dude laid out my whole thing. He was like, yeah, so you're from here, moved here, did that, did this.
Fuck that.
I'm like, what the hell? I was like, all right. But, yeah, man, I have won my first, championship here in reality wrestling. I am the champion of all television. I'm the champion of all televisions, every single one. The big ones, the small ones, black and white, HD, 4K, the televisions in China, the televisions in Australia, the ones in Russia, the ones in Africa, South Africa, the ones in Brazil, the ones in Europe, the one in the North Pole, the ones in the space station. So I'm the champion of space as well. Yeah, I'm the champion of all televisions everywhere. Any television I appear on, that's the television I'm champion of.
So please tell me, that's a promo that you wrote or a promo that you've used already?
Neither. I literally just came up with that.
Boom. I'm sound biting it. I'm putting it all over the place.
I sound like what?
I said, nah, I'm sound biting that and I'm putting it all over the place.
Sound biting that. Oh, by all means, man. I'm gonna fix that up. I watch too much Muhammad Ali. I love Muhammad Ali. I think he is the greatest athlete of all time. He's a complete package. Muhammad is my boy, man. I mean, oh man, that dude is, I've never, because the thing is about wrestling, and this is pretty funny because it's kind of goes hand in hand with what Randy Orton retweeted. It wasn't his, because all them idiots freaking thought he wrote it. Rip Rogers wrote it. So they should be mad at Rip Rogers. Mm-hmm. And it made me laugh because I'm like, so Old School Legend wrote that. And funnily enough, Randy has done some outrageous stuff.
Yeah.
Compared to what the time period that Rip grew up in. So honestly, it's funny how Randy's took that and could have took offense to it, but he didn't. And he just retweeted it. And then he turned into an asshole. And I loved every single second of that. I love Randy too. Now. I've always loved Randy anyway. Now I'm just like, Randy. If I ever see him, I'm like, Randy. He's like, who the fuck is this dude yelling at me, man? Yo, security, remove him. I don't even care. I'm gonna do it. Randy, I'm gonna just give him the point, man. You my boy. What that read, and then what his response read to people complaining about it. And you read the passage in question of what he retweeted.
Oh, about freaking Bubba Ray.
No, not that. No. That was just funny. I'm not. No, the thing with that started the whole thing off where it was like matches today. You know, whatever, dive, clap, dive, spot, dive. You know, do 15 finishes, dive.
Okay, I didn't see that part.
Whatever,
I just seen
that thing. And then he put something else up after, and people were complaining about it. And I probably should just read it because I'll probably kind of help out there. It's just so funny because like the way he crafted his response was the thing that I thought immediately, and it upset me that people were complaining and lighting up his Twitter because they don't get it. They don't get it. And when I say they don't get it, I mean like they straight up got trolled in even more ways. He wrote, "Sorry to the indie marks, indie guys and old timers who do dives took offense. Just having a good time over a few drinks in Denmark closing the SmackDown Live tour. While beating Raw and making over $5 million in the last 11 shows. Now, I know to some that doesn't equate to a standing room only crowd of 150 people paying $8 at the Armory somewhere. But in the big boy world, that's called putting asses in seats. So enjoy your flips, dives, and 20 super kicks per match. To each their own. I will go dive my way back into my 13th title run and get ready to flip when my bank statement comes this month."
Okay,
headlock.
Yeah. I didn't get the top part of it. I seen the last bit of it or whatever. Yeah, man, that's just.
Just like it, yeah, it's hilarious. But here's the thing with that, like. What I'm about to get into are promos and stuff like that. Just first off, to each their own. If you like what you like. You know, I don't care for that kind of stuff. But I won't not do it. I have done a little bit of it. I have done some of it. I have dived. So it's nothing about like the literal thing. People took it too literally.
Yeah.
But first and foremost, the man is worth $15 million.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever he says, you should probably just shut up and just. Yeah, you probably got a point. And examine it and see what he's saying because it's probably not just some random bull that he's making up just to make you salty.
Yeah.
And people were complaining, and I've seen these comments where, oh, your title run sucks and you've been boring ever since you debuted. I'm just like, y'all realize we all grew through that period, right? So regardless of what you think, he got us to where we are present day in this current situation right now. Regardless of whether or not it's a fabulous era, because let's face it, it's not as hot as it ever was. The Attitude Era was the hottest time in history for wrestling. It's all, as well as the Golden Era back in the 80s. So yeah, obviously, we're not in that era, but he has held it down in the era that we've transitioned, from and to where we're at right now. Yeah. So it's like, why would you even like talk some ish to this guy? It's like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And people got all upset about, talking about flips and dives. You're crapping on the indie guys and you're crapping on the guys who do that and your coworkers that came from the indies. No, he's not. That's not who he's talking to at all. He's not talking to those guys at all. And even if he was, the point is here, those guys aren't making millions of dollars. Those guys, some of them got WWE. Okay, let's examine that statement. In the past year and a half, 205 happened. 205 is not highly rated. 205 had to get moved shows, had to switch shows. 205 doesn't get ratings on the network. 205 just gets an hour. When stuff works, it gets attention. When stuff works, like they make it work. When stuff works, they make it do something. So clearly that type of wrestling alone is not going to be the savior of wrestling. That type of wrestling alone is not going to be something that like is a catalyst. Yeah. But at the same time, that headlock stuff is not going to do the same thing either. Mm-hmm. At the same time, the people that did flips and did cool stuff, like Eddie Guerrero, Rey Mysterio, and Chris Jericho, the ones who held down the WCW Cruiserweight era, became big stars. Yeah. But they stopped doing that stuff. Mm-hmm. At the same time, the people that were the biggest stars, arguably of all time, The Rock, Stone Cold, and Triple H, did not dive, did not flip. They just did headlocks and finishers. Like, the thing I'm getting at is you got to make a connection. The connection is where you make the money. Connection is what is the thing that people need to be wanting in wrestling. Yeah. Not just how many flips you can do. Because the problem is with these kind of things is the people that are complaining about that stuff are the loudest ones. It's not even, they don't realize that, yeah, they may be loud and they may have a voice on the internet, But at the end of the day, there's still nothing but kids in that audience and parents that take them to watch the product and stuff like that. So that's why, someone had the nerve to say, oh, well, John Cena sucks too. And I'm like, John Cena's made twice as much money as Randy Orton. So how does he suck? Like, what are you talking about? So back to Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali made a connection with anyone and everyone he ever spoke to. Everyone he ever spoke to, Muhammad Ali made a connection with that person. If you watch After Sunday Liston, I believe. After Sunday Liston, he just got beat up. He's tired. He can barely talk. Man, he's drinking water, getting his breath back. And then he just snaps. Out of nowhere, he just snaps. Like, he's just talking, I forget what he led in with. He was like, they said I couldn't, I think he said they said I couldn't do it. And the next sentence he said was, I told you. He yelled it. I'm pretty sure you've seen the clip where he's going, I told you I'm the champion of the world. That one. That's right before that. If you watch the whole clip, he's just mumbling and just like, whatever. Attention, everybody be quiet, I said I was going to do it. I beat him. I done did it. I might retire. Whatever, blah, blah, blah. I know I'm going to beat me. He's just mumbling, being playful and stuff like that. Yeah. And then he's like, you guys said I was going to be the champion. I told you I'm the champion. I told you I'm the champion of the world. All of you bow. All of you. You're at the Rain magazine. And then he just goes on and on and on. He just exploded. And it puts goosebumps on your skin because you're watching this dude and you believe every word he says, the way he's saying it to you and the way he's looking at the camera. Yeah. The camera zoomed in right in his face when he did it too. And he's pointing at the camera. I told you I'm the champion. I told you I'm the champion. He talked people into seats. He talks to you into that fight. He talks you into that bout. When you watch him, you weren't saying, oh, if I get off work, I'll see him. You're saying, oh, I'm going to take off work to see Muhammad Ali. I'm going to see what he's going to do next. Like, that's what it is. Conor McGregor is the same way. Yeah. He can talk and he's entertaining. That's why people know who some athletes are and people don't know who some are. Like, there are people that are better and there's people that are arguably better than Muhammad Ali, but no one ever talks about them. Muhammad Ali's the greatest known. He's the most well-known athlete, period. The UFC, Ronda Rousey is the most well-known athlete, Conor McGregor. The household names, stuff like that. Household names don't become household names because they flip a lot or they're the best puncher, the best kicker. It's because they have the personality and they make the connection. And it so happens that they're also good. And even when they aren't good, they that's what they do, man. And I think that's like the most important part about what we do and what's going on. People need to get off this high horse of like, my style's better, this style's the best. It's not about that. Who do you connect with? Buy their stuff, support them, watch them, and be with them the whole way up. Share their stuff, all the whole 9 yards. Some people are assholes, some people are not. Some people are cool, some people are boring. But it's just about what you like. A lot of people love when I talk on the mic. They love when I get in front of the camera and I do stuff. And there's some stuff that I say that I forget I say. And I go back and laugh. I laughed. One of the reasons why I came down here and the reason I was trying to go to ROH or Monster Factory up there was because I wanted something that had production value, that looked good, that I can do promos and get myself over because I love talking. I love that aspect of it. I love that aspect of it. Like, and you can't say it doesn't work because The Rock will tell you different. Yeah. And Triple H and Steve. Like, that's the point. You got to be able to connect with the fans. And when I'm doing these promos and when I'm talking to the camera, I just say whatever comes up to my mind. And, like, for example, the thing I just said about the television in China, whatever, that thing, I think I watched something to Muhammad way back a couple months ago. And I think he was talking about, he's the world champion. Like, I'm the world champion. I'm the champion of every country. So he said something like that. I don't know. It just popped up in my head, I guess, subconsciously. But like, he's like, I'm the champion of the world. Just the way he said it was just like, he's a champion of the world. Like, it was just the way he said it. It's just so cool, calm, and collected. I'm the champion of the world, man. I mean, that's just, you can't do no better than that. So that's like my favorite thing. So, being down here, I love it because I get to cut these awesome, promos and stuff. I said something about Brian Keith, not the other day, like way back. When we were doing the battle royal for the television championship. And I was like going through everybody. And I'm like, man, there's this guy. Like, oh, there's Rob Barnes, whatever, Rob Barnes. There's Bartek sitting there with the stupid man bun. And then there's Brian Keith, broken by Brian Keith. Rex Andrews broke Brian Keith. He's like a, and apparently I said this. I don't know why or how I said this. I listened to it back and I did say it. I said, he's lost. No. I remember the specific part was, he's like a seashell. You go to the beach, pick up a seashell, and that's Brian Keith. I forgot the analogy I made. but it was the funniest thing in the world. It was just hilarious. Someone played it for me. I just died laughing. Like, I was rolling on the ground. Like, I was like, I can't believe that I said that. I think I said he's lost like a seashell or something like that. Something, man. And, just the ridiculousness of some things I say. And that's, people want to laugh and be entertained and they want attention. They want attention. They want you to talk to them.
Yeah.
They want you to connect with them. And that's kind of something that's missing with the 50 flips stuff. That's why, I told someone that that's why it doesn't work in terms of putting stuff on the map. If it was that great, ROH would be competing directly with WWE right now. Directly with WWE. Not kind of, sort of, not a little bit maybe. No, that's why the talent's going to WWE. And you know what? And legit, man, they just got to deal with Sinclair, so they might actually sign up with him, and WWE's people might jump off ship and go back to ROH if they get a platform. So, hey, that's definitely a possibility, and that'll be crazy. They might have a new war starting up, and that'll be pretty freaking awesome if that happens. Competition is the best thing. But aside from that, like I said, those guys are different. Seth and all them, those guys are different. The guys I'm talking about right now, the guys who haven't made it, people who are kind of trying to find a way in the business and stuff like that. It's about a complete package. If you flip, that's cool. If you don't flip, that's cool. Do you connect with the crowd? Awesome. I want to work with you. I want to fight you. I want to do something with you. I want to talk crap to you. That's what it has to be, and that's all there is to it. I didn't mean to go on a whole tangent from that thing, but yeah, man. So, to answer the question, no, there wasn't a promo written down. It's just something that I just kind of just whatever. So I'm going to have to make sure I say that next time I do a promo thing, because that's pretty funny. That'd be pretty funny if I'm just sitting there looking off in the distance. Just, I'm the champion of all televisions. And they start naming off random countries and random cities in the world.
And then you know how wrestling fans are or whatever. I mean, if you put the pause in the middle, you're going to get the what chance? Be like, I'm the champion in Italy, television on Italy. What? I'm the champion in Rome.
Dude,
what?
No, you don't do that to me. That's deadly, because the thing is, and I will admit this, I do talk really fast sometimes, and then I have to my mind has to catch up with what I'm saying. So it's funny, because if I'm going to roll, and I'm just like a roller coaster, I'm just like, hold on for dear life, like, oh, don't mess up. But dude, if they're over here doing some stuff like that, and I'm getting like a second and a half to think between sentences, oh, bro, please do. Please do. I'm the champion of all televisions. What? Television in Italy. What? Television in England. What? Television in Antarctica. What? Antarctica. What? Whatever, I'll do it. So yeah, man. And that's, like I said, again, that's all the people want, is just to be involved. That's it. And that's why wrestling fans are turning the way they've turned into, with just kind of like this hijacking the show stuff.
Yeah.
Because they want to be involved. And the thing is like, I just realized it now talking to you about this. WrestleMania. There was not a single segment. I think there was like one mini segment. There was not a single, no stars came back, no microphone segments. And I know people get tired of talking all the time.
Yeah.
But like, man, like back in the day, man, that was the funniest part. Like just having random shit happen. Having stuff set up, having The Rock cut 3 promos in one night, freaking The Rock do the thing with Austin before the match. Hey, you got your match. Dude, they only did they do that this past WrestleMania? Have like anyone like before the big championship match? Hey, you got the match tonight. How was it? How you feeling? I don't think they even did that. Unless I missed it. No, they didn't. Yeah, they just went right into it. Promo, dude. Like that's what I'm talking about, man. The Rock, and Stone Cold. The last time they fought, like, dude, that promo set it up, man. He went whatever. The Rock will finally beat Steve Austin. And then he said, finally. And then we thought he was going to do the freaking thing. Finally. That was it. That's all. And then he walked off. It was like, oh, all right. This is about to go. That's what you need, man. That's what you need. You need that stuff. You need that freaking pre-match promo and talking that, get that crowd hype. Get people to chant the millions and millions with you. Get people to chant what with you. Get people to chant whatever, and just be there and listen to you speak. So, yeah, man,
yeah.
No, man. Yeah, fans just want to enjoy wrestling. That's all.
Yeah, and I get that or whatever, because I mean, Kevin Owens is one of the ones that I'm really enjoying right now, because I mean, he has something for everybody as far as like his conversation to go. If he's out there cutting a promo and the crowd get unruly and everything, he'll say something and he shut them down, and you never hear from him until he finished speaking. Or whatever. I mean, he commands the audience or whatever. At the same time, he gives them opportunities to, get in on the fun too. And I really dig that dude. I believe he's actually a dick like that in real life sometimes, except for to his family and shit. But
yeah, he seems pretty snarky. He seems pretty snarky. So,
but like that whole thing with Randy Orton, whole thing with Randy Orton and everything, it's like, yeah, I mean, he can brag, he has some accolades or whatever, but like me, I'm the type of person to be like, I would let my performance speak rather than me address any of that dumb shit or whatever. Because I mean, what you do over there and, wherever you wrestle doesn't affect me and what the fuck I'm doing over here. What you doing, all them flips or whatever, is not putting money or taking money out of my pocket. So I give a damn about what the hell you doing or what you saying over there.
Yeah, well, that's the thing though. He has nothing left to prove, really. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I would be paid like that too. I would just tweeted that. I definitely would have hopped into that. So I think that's the kind of his stance on that.
Yeah,
was because of where he was. It's just him, just freaking
throwing rocks from the top of the mountain.
Yeah, man, kicking him. He just flicked it off. He literally just freaking just tapped it and it just rolled off. Like he don't care, So for the guys that are in that thing that feel targeted by him, yeah, go out there and make your dive shirts and do all your stuff. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just feel it's really mind-boggling to me for people to kind of go at him and have that thing where they want to attack him when he's just the wrong person to attack. Someone said I never liked a Randy Orton match, or his best match has been with the indie guys, and I was just like, so him and Undertaker never happened, like for a whole year? Are you kidding me right now? Like, it's just, people just didn't, they just don't think the stuff through, man. Just like I said, like what'd you say for Randy? For those guys, yeah, go out there and prove it, go out there and, just throw down and get your point out there, man. If it works, it works,
Yeah. Now, as far as being down there with, ROW and everything, how far from the time that you walked in through the doors up until now, you got the strap on your shoulder, I'm looking at you with your black bucket hat and your Beats by Dre headphones around your neck, cutting a promo. How do you feel your character has developed from the time you got there up until now?
Well, that's a tricky question, man, because it's one of those things where I just kind of step into it and do it and, make sure well, okay, here we go. Actually, no, like I've grown into a champion, right? Mm-hmm. So, I've transitioned from just the angry, whatever, like I want my opportunity, I want my shot, to now I'm the champion of all television. Now I'm the champion of every television in the world, So now I've just transitioned into, something else. Like I'm not, as far as development character wise, I'm not going to go, change anything up. Or maybe I will, who knows? I'm not going to go change anything up, just like, it's just, now I have a different spin on me. Yeah. Now I can sit in that high place and do like, I'm trying to think.
Yeah. It's
like now I'm not the challenger anymore. Everyone else is the challenger, So, that's where I'm going now. That's where it's going to be going. And she's going to see where, who steps up and who I'm going to be working with and who's going to be trying to take the championship away from me and stopping them every corner, however I got to do it,
Yeah, you're just sitting here snatching microphones away from your interviews and pushing them off the camera. That's cool, too.
I mean, he's in the way, bro. I don't want to tell you, bro. Oh, Chris Russo.
Yeah.
Chris Russell.
It's just like old school rap music, man. It's like when you have an artist just starting out, they're going to have some content that's going to be about their life, the struggle. I sold drugs, I shot this, I stole this. And then once they establish and they make a name for themselves, they're not so much rapping about that as much. They start to rap about, hey, now I got this lifestyle. Now I'm moving into this house. I'm moving out of that place into this place, and so on and so forth. Then they freaking establish themselves a little more, gets a little more worldwide, I forget the word, but to get known more globally than, locally and everything. And now they're talking about taking trips all around the world and not so much at all talking about all the old stuff they used to talk about or whatever. It's just like the here and now, and I finally made it, So, same to be said about professional wrestling.
Yeah, man, and you got to do that and work with the people who are supporting you, and kind of just kind of go that way and kind of just grow the direction you're getting watered, I guess you can say, you know. And that's the key. I think that's what's kind of messes up people when they get to WWE and whatnot. When they are trying to grow a certain way and they're not allowed to grow that way, and it's clear as day which way they should be growing, but they're not. So, you know, all that stuff, man, is pretty, God, man, so many conditions have to be right for that story to kind of come out. When they kind of develop the character to make sense and stuff. I think that's kind of what's missing. That's what's missing pretty bad right now. No one's really changing, you know, like for Roman, I feel like he should have changed up all his stuff multiple times. I don't even know when. Like when he won the champion. Oh, perfect. You know, Batista, you know, and like freaking and John when they won their championships, you know, Batista had the generic guitar music, freaking, you know, John had the thugonomics, you know, and when they won, stuff changed up. The music changed, what they wore changed. I'm like, yeah, man, I haven't seen that in a while, man. Triple H, it's the same thing. We went from DX to freaking, you know, My Time. Yeah. That's perfect right there. I'm about to freaking get too excited. My Time. First off, the theme song in general was just My Time. Yeah. Like that's just perfect right there. You know, it takes a whole production to grow, you know, and when you're in the indies, you can grow yourself. So it's cool if people are, you know, watching the product and paying attention to it. But with that, man, that's just like the perfect, situation to draw from. Going from the Blue Blood to DX, the unruly one, to, you know, now it's My Time. And, you know, I'm running shit around here. That's what he basically was doing. So, like, that's what these guys need to be doing and stuff like that. But these guys don't even freaking get entrance videos no more. They just get graphics. So I don't even know.
Just their name flashing on the screen like 80 times.
Yeah, man. Hey, dude, I hate that, bro. I can't stand that. Like Sheamus, I think, I'm pretty sure someone else, but
Sheamus and Rusev.
Sheamus, he has the one where he's actually in his, but it's more like an intro to the beginning of his theme. But I think all that stuff is kind of just like, I think WWE might think that it's not necessary anymore, but I really think that takes away not having that, not having separate stages for the shows. There's so much stuff that worked for them that got them where they are now. They just kind of don't do anymore. I'm just like, oh man, come on, why can't you do this or why can't you do that? Down here in reality wrestling, I just changed my video, my entrance video. The first our guy who does them. Or a chick, we have a chick that does them now, but we used to have a guy that did them, and he didn't have that good of skills. So he was cut and paste some stuff. We didn't really even know he did it. He just threw some stuff together. The guy who produces the show is pretty damn busy, so, you know, he's kind of delegated it to him. And it was kind of lame. I told him that. I was like, yo, man, like, why you got this Gold Rush looking font on my name, and why do you got me freaking just doing stuff that don't make sense? Yeah. So they told us, hey, we're going to do your videos. Redo them. So what do you want? Man, I said this whole thing, man. My video is the best ever. My video is the best ever, man.
I know. I just watched
I took all the things I'd ever loved. Have you even seen it? Because it should be. That's the last show. Not the last show, but maybe 2 shows ago or.
I'm on 160 right now.
Yeah, it might be 160 or 159, and it cuts to my video. Then I come out to the ring. Mm-hmm. And man, that joint dope is all know what, man. I'm like, man, look at that. You're like, man, yeah, JJ's the truth. You know, looking at that. So, you know, that's good. It's production value, man. It's production value. Yeah. That's why I believe that's why it's so much easier to get a following when you have a good production behind you than it is when you're just in a freaking, you know, gymnasium with nothing.
Yeah, I got you. Now, I mean, it's kind of evident or whatever, but JJ, Dynamite, where are we pulling from here, dude?
Booker. Pulling from Booker.
Cause I first watched this like around the time I had Kiefer on here, and then I'm just going through like the roster on the website, and I'm trying to watch as much of the shows as I can that, you know, that they put up on YouTube and everything. And I see you got the bucket hat. You daggone got the Dynamite thing going on, and I'm automatically thinking about freaking JJ from goddamn Good Times and all kind of shit. So, like, you say you get that from Booker, but that's what I'm seeing when I see it.
Oh yeah. No, I didn't say that's not what you're supposed to be saying. I'm just saying that that was something that was told to me. This is what you're doing, so that's what I'm doing. But it's cool because I wanted to change. I wanted to go away from my Blake Broadway stuff anyway, even though it didn't really have a theme to it. And by theme, I mean like it wasn't really like how I have like the setup of Dyno. You know where it came from. Blake Broadway just came from itself. Yeah. So it kind of had its own thing going, but people just went for it anyway. They didn't really care. They were like, "Oh man, I like that. That's dope. Whatever." Came out to all the lights. It was perfect. So. It is what it is, man. And it's a lesson where some people have this issue where they can't do something different and stay over. They if they're not doing their one thing, then they just can't figure it out, and then they turn into just whatever it is. No one cares. So when you're not doing your idea and you thrive at it, then you should be able to thrive at your idea times 10, or thrive at an idea that someone else gives you that you don't like. So I was perfectly cool. I loved it. I was like, oh, well, let's see, make this work.
And I feel I probably would have been in the mode of like, all right, yes, Booker, yes, sir.
Mm-hmm.
So cool. All right, man. Shit, it has been an awesome time sitting down, getting to chat with you. I mean, we got to wrestling at some point, but man, everything that you were speaking on as far as the movie industry, military life in general. I mean, just your traveling from the West Coast to the East Coast to down the South and everything. I mean, I really enjoyed it, man.
Awesome. Well, I appreciated talking to you, man. It was fun. It was fun. Like telling my story. Like telling my story to whoever will listen.
Yeah. And with that being said, man, we're reaching the end. You got anything you want to plug? Twitter accounts, Instagrams?
Oh yeah, man. Also, yeah, of course, yeah. The Twitter and the Instagram, man, need some loving. The Twitter's doing pretty good, man. It's funny. A funny quick story. My one of my favorite artists of singers of all time, Nixon from Framing Hanley, and that's the band that did that cover of Lollipop. When Lollipop was real big, and that rock cover came out. He's the singer from that, and the whole Orton thing. I'm like. I saw him on there. I was like, man, it's not every day you see your favorite singer of all time sharing a chuckle from a tweet and something like that. He's just like, thanks for the love, bro. And he followed me, and I'm like, oh my god, my favorite singer followed me on Twitter. I'm like, I was acting like a little schoolgirl, man. I'll admit it. I was acting like a little schoolgirl. So that Twitter, man, Double J Blake, man. If I get a follow on the Double J Blake Twitter, that'll be awesome. Post all my events. You can reach me there. Pretty much up for conversation at any time. I will respond. Cause I'm petty. At best, I'm petty. So, I will respond to everything. And, the Instagram is, the Instagram, I just changed it. It is also the same. It is Double J Blake. So, and that's just one J. So just Double J Blake on both of those. Facebook, JJ Blake. I'll pop up.
Boom. All right, man. Once again, I appreciate you taking the time out to chat with me. I appreciate you doing what you do for our entertainment. And, hey man, you've been on the show once. The door is always open for you to come back to do whatever you want, to talk about new events or just what you going with your career. The door is always open for you to come back.
Awesome, man. I appreciate that, man. And I will be back. I will be hitting you up in the future, man. Check in with you.
All right. I appreciate that.
All right, man. Take care.
And that's it. Another episode in the books. Well, actually, it's not in any books. It's on the internet, on my laptop, on my hard drive, on my thumbstick, because I have many backup contingencies in case my computer crash, because it's a piece of shit and I lose all my stuff. So I got it in the cloud. I got it on my hard drive. I got it on a little thumb drive that'll keep on my keychain. So, I mean, it's in many places. It's also on the internet, so if anything, I can probably just re-record the shit, which would be a fucking hassle. I like to have all my things, And big shout outs to JJ Blake for, giving me his time and chatting it up with me about some Iron Fist and all that other stuff. And also big shout outs to Hoppy Rogers for another tale. And what do you think about that battle rap response from Ray from the Naked Porch? Yeah, man. Hey, if you want to vie for the voicemail championship, go ahead and sing your battle raps in. or whatever. Show me some skills. Zyme, Sir John Lee, Bumpy 103, whoever. Come on. Freaking Venus Versace. And that's a future guest that's going to be on here pretty soon. She's a female rap artist. She run with Zyme in that circle or whatever. And she got an album out called Chasing Galaxies. If you want to check that out on Spotify, SoundCloud, and all those other places. She got a video for a song called Freak 2. And you can see her hindquarters on there. That shouldn't be the reason you watch the video. You should be looking for the lyrics and the visual representation and the artsy stuff. But you can see a butt too. Anyway. Once again, man, I appreciate everybody for listening. I'm sorry for the audio quality, but hey, man, shit changed on the fly, and I didn't know I was going to be sitting here in my motherfucking big red machine talking that shit that I talk here on a weekly basis. And once again, if you're in the Lafayette, Louisiana area, I gave you a description at the beginning of the show of Jacqueline Landry. She went missing on the 23rd of May. Keep your papers open, man. Call that number if you find out anything or you see anything. I think they have a Facebook page as well. You can look on shit, this thing's so small I can't see. Kind of like my penis, but hey. Facebook at Finding Daisy Lynn. That's a DAISYLYNN. Also, this print is so small, but I'm pretty sure they got some other missing persons pages on Facebook and everything, but that's what I got, the information that I have. So keep your eyes open, send your prayers out to the family that's missing their child, and hopefully that she comes home safe. And since the Random Ramblers with Rob is a part of the Hush Your Face Entertainment Network thingamabobber or whatever, after I sign off, you're gonna hear our almighty Hush Your Face musical stylings by one of the hosts of 3 is Comedy. I forget the names, man. You think I would know this shit since I'm a part of something? I would know people names and their shows and shit. But anyway, you can find me on Twitter at It's B-Rob. That's ITSBROB. If you want to talk professional wrestling and any other general shenanigans, that's the place you can hit me up. Also, the show has a Twitter. You can reach the show on Twitter at, wait for it, _podcast. That's 3 R's _podcast. I also have a website called randomrobcast.com, to where you can find all my other social media accounts and my guest lists and other ways that you can support the show monetarily. There's Amazon links, there's merchandise, and you can donate via the Patreon account, like Brandon McIntyre and Glenn Abbott, 2 great individuals that donate to the show, and you can too. Just click the links, find out how. Got 3 tiers, $1, $3, and $5, and you get some cool stuff, digital downloads, handmade stuff by me. You get random shit in the mail. It's cool, man. It's cool, baby. Also, you can find me on Instagram, where I walk around Walmart and do random things, or vlog, as the young people say. Also, I am a co-host on the Pipe Bomb with McCool and Company as a wrestling talk podcast, which we just celebrated our 1-year anniversary, which is, their 1-year anniversary, because I just joined like a couple months ago. But check that out. If you want to find that show, you have to look up the NAI Network. It's a stream on iTunes, Stitcher, Podomatic, and everything, to where there's multiple shows on this feed, and the Pipe Bomb with McCool and Company happens to be the one that I am a co-host of. Like, subscribe, and review. Also, I was a guest on the most recent episode of the Poor Boys podcast. I also was a guest on Horribly Awkward with Sean Fuller. I think it was episode 83 or some shit like that. Well, look it up. My name is in the title. I think it's not the most recent, but it's the one before that. I also was a guest on the RBR Weekly Wrestling Talk podcast for the Cinco de Agosto festivities. That's their most current episode that's up, and I'm on it. So I'm in the multiple places, baby. You can find me everywhere. I'm in the wind. But anyway, I appreciate you for listening. Prayers to the family of Jacqueline Landry. And I'll see you next time. Hush your face, motherfucker.
Your face is coming straight to your ears. A podcast network that's changing gears, bringing fresh funky pods with a fresh funky beat. A family of pods that are bringing the heat. There ain't no stopping us. Keep coming back to us, sick ass pods that'll make you hush. www hush your face. www hush your face. www hushyourface.com.